welcome back to the Intelligent Donkey, where we're a day late on getting our Music Monday video out. But here it is on Tuesday, the 4th of July, and here it is.
It's better than being a dumb one.
Okay.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Intelligent Donkey.
Woohoo!
With the Intelligent Donkey and my daughter, Luna Rosa.
That's me.
That's me. We're going to take a little break from all of this attention that we've been giving to Nightwish and Dream Theater and Liliac. And as much as they all deserve our attention as active bands who are putting out new music, and it's all just great stuff, we do have to once in a while return to the band that I consider the #1 best band ever.
Oh, we're going to be listening to Rush today?
We're going to be doing some Rush today. And to that end, you have seen a couple of other Rush videos.
Okay.
On this channel with Luna Rosa. But both of those videos come from Rush's early days.
Oh, okay.
This is their last song on their last studio album. They're one of the few bands for whom we definitively know exactly what their last album is, because I wanted to put together like a playlist or something like that, or a set of reaction videos to last songs from last albums to see what their finales sound like. We'd have a little bit of an issue with some bands, because obviously even some classic bands like, say, Kansas, my second favorite band of all time, is still active. And
so they haven't had a last album.
So we don't know if the album that they released in 2020 is going to be their last album or not. Might be, but we don't know. They're still touring. They're on their 50th anniversary tour. Unfortunately, with Rush, we know exactly what their last album was, and that last album was called Clockwork Angels. It was released in 2012. We just recently had their 11th anniversary of the release of that album. And I'm not sure if they intended for this to be their swan song. I mean, they might have had this in mind as being kind of their last thing, because they went on a tour afterwards, and then they went on a second tour after that, after the Clockwork Angels tour, called their R40 tour, which was their 40th anniversary as a band. And then they went into a semi-retirement, and for the longest time they just didn't return. But that last tour was in 2015, and everybody thought that, okay, well, maybe after Neil Peart's tendonitis clears up a little bit, he'll be back to drumming. He was their chief lyric writer, and he wrote the lyrics, obviously, to the song we're about to listen to.
Yay!
But no, on January 7th, 2020, Neil Peart passed away of brain cancer, and revealed the fact that quite possibly at the end of the tour in 2015, he might have already kind of had in mind that this was going to be the end. He fought that battle for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they have a legacy, if you will, of that last album, Clockwork Angels, and its final song on the album called "The Garden."
Ooh, okay.
All right, so it's it's one of those things where if they intended to go out with that song, they made the best choice possible.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's a very unusual song compared to the rest of their catalog. It's not that they haven't done ballads before, but they didn't do very many of them, and they didn't conclude on one, and or they didn't, I don't think, seek out to conclude on one. But that's exactly what they did. Another thing that's a little unusual is that the Clockwork Angels album features guest musicians. Now, they've had some guest musicians on some of their other albums, here and there, just a few scattered people. But basically it's the trio of them for pretty much everything. Their live stuff, their studio stuff. But for this final album and the tour that followed, they did it with a string orchestra. And they took the string orchestra on tour with them.
Nice.
And I was contemplating actually showing the live version from the Clockwork Angels tour DVD for one huge reason. They recorded the concert at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. About 25 miles from where we're sitting right now.
Woohoo!
So, something like that anyway. Yeah, right here in the DFW area. But it's a good performance, but I really wanted to do this particular performance for a reason that might not be so obvious until you get into it for about a second or two.
Okay.
But once we do, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I hope so. He says this, and then I'm, like, confused. I get nervous that I'm going to miss it, and then I'm going to get yelled at. He doesn't really yell.
Onward with the headphones, and onward with The Garden by Rush.
All right. Oh, I can see it already. Is this by our guy that usually does
It sure is.
What's his name again?
Garen Lamar.
All right, let's do this.
Yep, it's his 100th Peanuts music parody video. And
Yay!
he calls it a parody, but there's no humor to be found. But he does a magnificent job of putting the Peanuts animated characters onto songs by various artists.
Yep.
The two of them that we did by Rush were already Peanuts reactions.
I'm a huge editing fan, like how the artistry behind editing. Oh, Lamar, yeah, love it.
Oh, one more thing is that obviously I've heard the song, duh.
Yeah.
I have actually not seen the video.
Oh, yay!
So I don't know how good of a job he did with this one compared to the others. We're about to find out.
All right, let's go.
Hey, maybe we can get that combo together we had once before. Maybe we can convince Schroeder it's okay to play some modern music.
Oh, nice.
The string orchestra.
The garden. That's amazing.
In this one of many possible worlds, all for the best or some bizarre test. It is what it is, and whatever. Time is still the infinite jest. The arrow flies when you dream. The hours tick away, the cells take away. The watchmaker keeps to his schemes. The hours tick away, they tick away. The measure of a life is a measure of love and respect. So hard to earn, so easily burned. The measure of a life is a measure of love and respect. So hard to earn, so easily.
Okay, before I sound like an idiot, his voice currently does not sound like a natural voice. It sounds like something is added to it. Am I just hearing this, or?
I think you're just hearing this because you're not used to hearing Geddy Lee as a 58-year-old.
Okay, because it sounds like there's a computer behind it. Like there is, like he's mixing his voice with something.
No. You're just listening to a voice that has aged quite a bit since the last time you saw him or heard him.
Okay.
On the songs that were from originally back then, 1977 and 78. So we're jumping all the way to 2012
Okay.
with this one.
In the rising descent of the sun, till the stars go spinning, spinning round the night. Oh, it is what it is, and forever. Each moment a memory in flight. The air of life while you breathe. The hours tick away, the cells tick away. The watchmaker is time up his sleeve. The hours tick away, they tick away. The measure of a life is a measure of love and despair. So hard to earn, so easily burned. Let love fullness of time, a garden to nurture and protect. The treasure of a life is a measure of love and despair. The way you live, the gifts that you give, and the fullness of time is the only return that you expect.
I'm curious how they're going to do this next part. Obviously, Schroeder is going to appear here because we have a little more keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the most beautiful bridges in music history, as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
The future disappears into memory, with only a moment between. Forever dwells in that moment. Hope is what remains to be seen. Forever dwells in that moment. Hope is what remains to be seen.
100th Peanuts music parody video.
Videos.
It's going by a little bit on the quick side there.
Yep, can't really read it. I'm for sure you're supposed to pause it, but my goodness, that was amazing.
Yes.
Good song, good video. I love it. All right, Garen Lazar.
Very, very impressive, as before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the final song by Rush.
That was a good final song to go out by. That's for sure.
In the fullness of time, a garden to nurture and protect. It's a measure of a life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
What a way to go out. If they didn't intend it to be their swan song, they definitely chose the best way to go out.
Right. That's what I'm wondering if, like, they came out with this album, they came out with that song, and then health and stuff was going in decline. If it had been an awful song, I bet they would have come out with something.
Perhaps you're right.
Yeah. Since it was such a good song, they were like, you know what? Let me just live out the rest of my life and not have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah. But perhaps we'll do some others from Clockwork Angels.
All right.
Again in the future.
Sounds like a plan.
Because it really is a great album. It's not maybe up to the standards of like a Farewell to Kings or Hemispheres or 2112, but it's a darn good album, and it's I mean, nothing tops those other three. So let's face it. But after some of the crap that they did in the 90s, that almost nobody likes. I mean, a few people do, but yeah.
I probably would. I
90s
like
in general. I'm talking about what Rush did in the 90s.
I know, but I'm just saying I could like any piece of music. It doesn't even have to be really music. It's whatever. I'm really bad at doing reactions because I'm like, yes, this is great, and it could even if it sucks, or even if music people think it sucks. Yeah. I like the thought behind it. Like even if it's a crappy song. Like, somebody put their heart, their art into it. And so, to me, there's no such thing as a bad song.
Right. Not even High Ren. Oh, wait. Did I say that?
Oh, okay. I see. We're firing shots.
Yeah.
All right. Now, hold on. First say,
don't be a donkey of limited intelligence. Like, share, subscribe to this channel.
Comment below
What you think of the song, the video, and the two of us. And
instead be an intelligent donkey.
That's right. See you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.